Hello, everyone. This is Scott Loomis from Tech for Learning. I introduced myself before, but now we've decided to do a recording of this session for the pre-K folks in Baltimore County. I was just talking about using browsers that are appropriate for Wixie, and you got to stick with Chrome, Safari, and Edge. Some of you or your students may be using Internet Explorer to access Wixie, and I'll tell you now, it won't work. There will be a problem. Wixie will crash, will likely freeze, and even right now, if you can't hear me very well, it's probably best if you log out of Internet Explorer and log back in via Chrome. And Cassandra, you're nice enough, welcome by the way, to share your camera. You might want to turn that off when you get a chance. No, the reason I don't encourage use of Internet Explorer is because it's no longer being supported. It's not a browser that has, like whoever created it, is no longer supporting it or updating it or doing virus protection. So if you use Internet Explorer a lot because you're familiar with it, you got to go cold turkey and switch. Like, hopefully you're not doing your personal banking on Internet Explorer because it's at risk, and that risk grows every week. So your students, if they're using personal devices, they definitely want to stick to a browser such as Chrome. Now, Wixie is available because it's web-based. See, I'm rocking the internet up here, like Chrome I mentioned. You can access it from any device that can connect to the internet. So laptops, desktops, tablets, iPads, Kindle Fires. You can even get Wixie off a cell phone. And although you won't do a lot of painting on a cell phone, you can use tools like the audio or video recorders really well on those devices. And since you're trying to capture knowledge for our younger students, it's not like they're doing a lot of typing anyways. So the cell phone will work as well and can prove valuable. But as long as you get to the internet, the device, you can do it. Even the iPads, don't look for a Wixie app, just go into Safari and go to BCPS 1 and log in. In fact, why don't you go ahead and take a moment and open a second tab. So I need you to open another tab up here. Don't go through my presentation, but add a new tab up here. And I want you to log into your BCPS 1 account and actually go ahead and find Wixie so you know how to do it. So many people said they were new. So log into Wixie via BCPS 1. I believe it's under instructional materials. And if you haven't signed in yet, Amy's put the sign-in sheet for the session on the chat box. Please sign in. So I'm going to wait for a moment here.
And Scott, yes, I'm just confirming that everything is in the instructional productivity tab when folks open up and log into Schoology.
Thank you, Amy. So once you're logged in, and I'm going to pause just a little bit too, and know that your kids are going to have to log in through BCPS 1. And I know that might be a little time consuming, but I mean, it's a process you got to teach, you got to familiarize, you got to put in the time now, but then here in a month or so, the kids are going to start to get more and more fluid with that process, and it'll just become second nature. So you guys are the first line, so to speak, of action when it comes to training the kids to use the web tools. And I can't stress enough, these kids, they really have no fear when it comes to computers. So take the time, train them up, it'll be good. Don't use that as a roadblock thinking, oh, it'll take too long to get them to do all that. Definitely it's worth it. And then, of course, all they have to do is click on Wixie. They won't have to retype anything in again. It'll just automatically take them there. Cassandra, I'm okay with that. Does she have a link, or can you just send her the link to the session? She's welcome to join us. All right. So now that you've hopefully logged in, go ahead, Amy. Now that you've hopefully logged in, come back to the presentation so you can see my screen, and you're going to basically move between BCPS 1 and context. You're presenting to everyone. Yes, I am. So there we go. Chantel, is that your friend Cassandra? So let's talk a little bit about Wixie and some basics as well. I've gone ahead and logged into my home page, and this is what you see when you first log into Wixie. Now, if it's your first time, you're not going to see any of this stuff down here because this is my stuff, my projects. So it's likely empty, or it'll soon to have some things on it. But you will see the options along the tab list on the left, as well as your student work. Now, I know there's a couple of sweet things about Wixie with 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds. First, Wixie automatically saves every 15 or 20 seconds all by itself. In fact, there is no save button in Wixie. So the kids will never need to save, or if not, they might lose it. They'll never be in fear. You should never be in fear that they're going to lose their work. Even if the power goes down, they only lost their last 10, 15, 20 seconds of work. Second is anything they do is automatically made available for you, their teacher, to see. So there's no Dropbox either. So what's nice is if you create a template whether using one of ours or from scratch or the stuff that's going to start showing up in the PreK folder and Baltimore County's folder, that template, when they open up, will be right here in this top section. So it's like right in their face. First thing, assignment, boom. They do the work, and when they're done, they can just exit the program through the door, and they're out. So there isn't a lot of extra tech things they have to do, like clicking on different folders or moving here, moving there. That's just not part of the equation. You can really make it easy for them to be efficient and proficient in that they're able to utilize the tool without extra steps or guidance. Right? So we are going to talk a little bit. I'm going to come back in more details about assignments. You can look at kids' work under students, and then the templates that exist, both from Tech for Learning, for Baltimore County, and from your elementary school. But first, we got to look at what Wixie does. And to do that, and again, keep watching me. Right now, you're not navigating in your Wixie account. Just watch for a little bit. I'm going to click on New, and this is the big thing. We had a session earlier, and people kept saying, wait, where do I get the new page? Well, or where do I get a blank page? It's under New. I want a new page. I don't want to do landscape or portrait. And you can even upload PDF files now. So if you want your kids to be able to write on a PDF, you can do that. That was upload. But I want a new project right there. Landscape's my better view because it gives me nice big rectangle here. That's how my screen is set up, my laptop monitor. So this is Wixie. This is the stuff where you make things. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. I think you should always name it. And I'm going to make a fall scene here. I'll have options of adding pages, imagery, text, even adding videos. I'm not going to talk about collaborative teams. I might show the storyboard a little bit. But I do want to talk about the paint tools as well. And I'll get into details. So just kind of a layout, tools across the top, more tools, paint stuff along the right, and then the undo is down here in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay? So let's start off by painting. And Wixie's paint tools by no means, Wixie paint tools by no means are special compared to other programs. Everyone kind of has the same paint tools. So I'm going to choose the paintbrush. Typically, and I know we have like one second grade teacher in the house, I would train the kids about arrows meaning options. Arrows mean options. Some of you may be really bummed there's only 10 colors to choose from, but if you click the arrow beside the object, in this case colors, you see, oh, heck, I got the million-point color wheel here. So there's a lot of colors to choose from. If I had chosen green like I wanted to, I could actually slide green for lighter and darker shades as well. Same thing for paintbrushes. There's 6 different brushes, and for even symmetry and things like that. The bottom line in pre-K, they just need 10 colors. You know, maybe if they find out on their own, but I wouldn't teach it. So I'm going to click on green like I did before, and I want to make like a grass scene. That's too small. I can modify the size. I'm going to draw right over it, so I don't need to undo it, although I could, but I'm going to draw. And let's paint buckets here. So blue sky, green, and I can do like a tree trunk I want to do here. Again, pretty thick. I think I'm going to stay there. And the kids, the younger kids, although it's not going to mix yellow and green, but we do have like a finger paint or a smudge tool. So I can go ahead and make like, it looks like roots in the ground. There we go. I know, ooh, ah, I'm artistic. And you know, if you click the green and go into the blue, you know, it'll do stuff like that. But just know, kids like messing around with it, but I find some uses here and there. If I continue looking at the paint tools, I could do shapes. And there's not only square, rectangle, circle, there's all the shapes to choose from. Again, arrows mean options. I don't know if the kids are going to use a lot of shapes. You know, I think they're going to do a lot just the paintbrush instead of using the other tools. But if the children want to explore and they get creative or interested, you can let them go from there. But that's the shapes. The only 3 I think you're going to use a lot are these 3 right here. Paintbrush, fill bucket, and the spray can. Spray can's awesome. It allows you to spray like here, balloons. Ooh, I'm just clicking and dragging. I get balloons. I don't want balloons though. I want some leaves on my tree. So I can say, this is where you do need options. Do I want nature, numbers and letters, animals, and everyday objects? And again, even if you say, oh, I like 10, and you paint 10, you just get a lot of 10s on top of each other. That's kind of crazy. So I would rather use 10 instead of the spray can. But if I go back to leaves, there's my fall leaves. And again, how big do I want? Itty bitty leaves? No, I want bigger leaves. Big honking leaves. And now I got my tree made. Once again, I know, ooh, oh, that's pretty cool. So to round out our basics, because I'm going to have you make something in just a moment, I want to talk about the images here. Now, when I click on the image icon, which is in the center of the page, just know that our clip art is called stickers, and there's over 10,000 different images in our sticker library. Many of the stickers appear in multiple folders, so if the kids can't read, hopefully they get an idea of what the icons mean as far as their categories. And I'll point out some ones that I think are particularly valuable for younger kids in a little bit. But right now, or actually I can do that right now. No, actually I'll come back to it. Because I can spell and type, unlike maybe some of your 4 and 5-year-olds is the direction I'm going, I could do a search. And there's stickers, there's also photos. There's over 30,000 copyright-free photos. Most of them have been donated by people. It's actually a website called PreK for Learning, but those images are in Wixie. You can take a picture from a camera. Hey everybody, this is me. So if the kid wants to take a picture of themselves, if they want to hold up a pet or something else, they could easily do that. Or if they want to put an outfit on or wear clothing that's appropriate for like winter time, they could do that. And then obviously move a little farther away from the camera. So you can from camera and from file. Someone was telling me earlier they do a lot of images of their classroom just to kind of give that feel for their little kids about classroom environment. So she can bring in pictures of her classroom by navigating my file and going to them on the computer. But I just wanted a picture of a deer. So I'm going to do that and click search. And first come stickers, then come cameras. And Lois, if you want to turn off your camera, that might be good. I think that's a little better. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the deer. There you go, Lois, you got it. And I'm going to press add, or I can just go click on it, and it works. So there's the deer. I can resize with the blue. These are called handles. I can rotate, little artistic tip. Ooh. This is delete, so it will delete it. I'm going to undo, bring it back. And then there's this little yellow circle. Can you guys see that okay? This is a spot where hopefully you've nodded your head, even though I can't see you. Thank you, Suzanne. That was fast. It is a megaphone icon. And when you click on it, deer, it reads it. So this is actually a pretty sweet option because if your kids are doing, like you're doing sound sorting, like starting sounds like A, S, D, and M, or let's say you're doing like a long vowel sound sort and the kid doesn't know what something is. So you're doing a sort with like long A and long I. This may be more like first grade or second. But the kid sees a picture of a meat. That's a piece of meat. I don't understand which folder, which section does it go in. And I think teasing the kids with one that doesn't belong is crazy in my mind. You got to sort it in one or the other. So they don't know what it is. Meat. I don't get it. Maybe they start crying. Who knows? But if they click on it and it says deer, steak, they're like, oh, it's a piece of steak. That's a long A. They can put in a long A. So that's nice because if they're not sure what an image is with starting sounds, and we get a lot of starting sounds or vowel sounds or middle sounds or blends or word families, they can at least click on it to know what it's supposed to be. Right now, you got to stick with whatever our name is. We're going to allow you to change the caption of things if you want to. But for now, it's just going to say what the program has identified it as. So I brought in the sticker. Again, I can move it around. I can go back up to images. I can bring in another. No, Suzanne, you actually just go through BCPS 1 and open up Wixie through your phone, through the browser. If I wanted to bring in something else, maybe like a squirrel, maybe a fox, maybe. Well, actually, you know what? Let me go into the category. Animal. Mammals are by continents. Everybody else has their own group. I was looking for a squirrel. And SQ, I got to spell correctly. Squirrels, there's a raccoon. Let me do a raccoon instead. Raccoon. I can put a raccoon up here. Now, if I try to paint on a sticker, so I go to spray can, leaves again, I'm going to try to paint it so it looks like his head sticking out. Right now, he looks like he's floating in front of the tree. So I'm going to paint like his bottom side. So I paint on him. Oh, I paint. I can't paint on the raccoon. That's frustrating. So you need to know that there are two basic layers to Wixie. There's the canvas, which you paint on. And then above it is a layer where you can click and drag things like a manipulation layer. You can click and drag stickers like Ricky and text. You can move those around too. So if I want to draw on something, I got to attach it to the canvas somehow, to the paint layer. So whenever you select something, know that this menu is specific to what you've selected. Like here's nothing selected and it's just background stuff. So this menu here, and then again, handles around it, the edit menu always has stuff too. Now in one of these two menus, actually in both of them, is the option to attach the sticker to the canvas. And I know the word's kind of small, but it says right here, glue to paint layer. And you see the little paint icon, like bottle of paint? That's over here too. So either way you want to, you glue it and check it out. He's on the canvas now. I can't move him. I'm trying to. But you know what I can do? I can paint on him. And my leaves are kind of giant, so I can make it a little smaller. There we go. Now he's hanging out in the tree. I could have painted them purple too if we're going to do a football theme. But anyways, that's how you attach stickers to the canvas. That's pretty easy. Thanks, Lisa. So here is your chance to explore. All right. I need you to open up your Wixie account and I'll tell you where to go. So move off of this page and open up your Wixie account tab. And again, if you need to come back and look at my page, this is what it should look like minus all my special projects, including the one from earlier. So now looking at your page, I want you to click on the templates folder along the left-hand side. It's the 6th one down that just says templates. And again, I have no clue if you're there or not, so I'm going to go through it once slowly, and then I'll go through it again a little faster pace for those of you who need it. Now that we're in templates, I want to click on month by month, and there's almost 2,000 templates in here. We're going to explore those later. Right now, I just want to go in and open up one template so you all can do it together. So templates, month by month, and these are all holiday themes, and lo and behold, there's 12 folders for month by month. We are going to go into the November folder. So I've clicked on templates, month by month, and then November. And if you want to come back to my screen, if you got like the turkey in the bottom with the crayons, the cornucopia, you're on the right spot. So if you need to look at my page really quick to confirm, you're welcome to. Now, the holiday themes are always nice. There's always an extend pattern one. So here they just have to put the next item in if doing a pattern. That looks like ABB, ABB, and that's ABC. So it might be a little too tricky for your kids. You can always make your own or customize, modify that one. But my favorite activity in all 12 months is this one right here with the cornucopia. So we're going to click on the cornucopia template I am thankful for. Now know that your students would never have to do all this. I'm going to show you a dramatic shortcut for them. But you as teachers, we need to. So click on I am thankful for, and right away you're going to see that, oh wait, where are the paint tools? Where's the text tool? Where's everything? Because this is one of our templates, you can't mess up our template, so to speak. That's our master. You only have 2 lists. Helen, if you don't have images, here, I'll show you 2. That's a good question. I am rocking the storyboard view here, the grid view, I mean. If you might be like that. Is that what you are, Helen, with the small stuff? It's the same thing. You've just chosen a different view, or by default, I guess. So if you don't like, there we go, thank you. If you don't like your view, I like the middle one, but this last one with the big boxes is kind of nice too because it gives you like descriptions of the lessons. But I like the middle one. So when you're looking at this template, you can actually assign it as is, which I'm going to get to later. But right now, I want you to click Customize. So again, I'm going to assume you're there, and I'll walk through it in just a moment. But this is a great template. And forget about the text. We're not going to do text. We're going to add a recording. So let me show you how to add a recording. And then you're going to go ahead and insert images of things you're thankful for and then explain why you were thankful for those things. So don't do it yet. Cool your jets. Another time to just watch. Again, I have no clue, so hopefully you're paying attention. This is the most powerful tool in the program right here, this old-time microphone icon, right? When I click on it, I have the ability to add 1 audio file per page, but that recording can last up to 5 minutes in length. Your kids, I never see them even coming close to a script. I mean, A, they probably can't write it so well, but B, let them ramble. I mean, if they want to ramble on about what makes fall special, go for it. And if one kid talks for 3 minutes and one talks for 20 seconds, that's just who they are. But that gives the kid the options to explain their thinking, to retell stories. I mean, think about it. You could do a read along with the kids, or not a read along, but they're just watching you. You're reading a book to the kids, even online here, and they see you holding the book and you turning the pages. I should turn my camera on. I'm rather entertaining, actually. So they see you holding the book and turning the pages, and you read the whole book, and you're ready for the kids to retell the story. They can open up a template to retell, and they could add an audio recording of them retelling what happened. The same could be true. We got 2nd and 1st grade teachers. Stop in the middle where the character's about to make a major decision. You stop and close the book and you look at the kids quizzically and say, what do you think she's going to do? You have 10 minutes to record what you think is going to happen and why, maybe using some evidence from the first part, and then to draw a picture of what you think is going to happen. And I make them record before they draw because I can't give them a grade on their drawing. I need something I can assess. And that recording usually gives you that knowledge. But right now, anytime they're trying to explain something, we can use it for artifacts like counting to 10. Record yourself counting to 10, saying words. We got a lot of speech people in here. I mean, you could, I'm going to add another page. You could type in, I still don't know, like 3 paragraphs on the page and assign that to the children. And basically you would have them read it, read all of it. And in first grade, you're doing fluency. Read as much as you can in 60 seconds or just have them read it all. And then what I would do, regardless of your speech or first grade, in a month, give them the exact same template again, same sentences, and have them read a new recording, do a new recording. And now you got 2 artifacts to compare, and then maybe one more time, and you walk into your fall parent conference with artifacts of their, hopefully, progression of fluency, of their speaking skills, of speech, whatever you want. You have that artifact. So how does a record tool work? Then I'm going to cut you loose. It's really, really hard. No, I'm being sarcastic. I taught middle school. I can wear that badge proudly. When I click record, I'll get a 3-second countdown. However, if you've never used Wixie before, when you click record, a box may pop up that says allow the microphone to talk to this web page. So you got to allow the microphone. That's like a firewall safety thing for issues. So when I click record, I get 3 seconds and I can just start talking. There's my cam. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. So I am thankful for many things. I'm thankful for my wife. I should do it as an adult, not a kindergartner or pre-K kid. For my 2 daughters, for my mom and dad and my family, for my dog. Thankful for the bed I can sleep in and for good food. And you can pause it here in the middle too. And this is great for like ESOL kids. We saw like older ESOL kids, they do like an infomercial and they get tongue tied on one of the words in English. So they needed time to collect themselves to say the word right. And then they mess up the recording, have to start all over another new minute. So this will allow them to pause, any kid, to collect their thoughts and go on. So I can resume. And I'm also thankful for this. And when I'm done, I click stop. And I can listen to it and keep it. Or I can listen and try it again because it's no good. You only get 1 per page. Now, if you keep it, you can still trash into a new one. But I can listen to it here or even this icon down here. So I added an audio, clicked recording, and did a recording. So here's what I need you to do on your cornucopia. I want you to add images of things you're thankful for. If you want to take a picture of yourself, knock yourself out. Go for it. Assuming your device has a camera. Most do. But, children, places, things, family, money, doesn't matter. For workday Fridays instead of working with the children. And then I need you to add a recording to explain it as if you were a pre-Ker making and doing this activity, or first grader or kindergartner or what. And go ahead and record it. So I'm going to give you 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to do your project. Please do not wimp out on me. You can be very passive right now because I'm not looking at you in a classroom and saying, hey, what are you guys doing over there? So do this activity. Don't wimp out. I want you to try it. When you're done, and this isn't a race, but let me know, hey, I finished. There was a lady earlier that said, not only did I finish, but I am the worst tech person ever, and I still finished. So you celebrate, let me know when you're done. But for those of you who didn't catch all of the processes, I'm going to review one more time while everyone else works. So when you open up Wixie via BCPS 1 and then the instructional tools folder, just like your students, Suzanne, I'm going to get to it then. Click on templates on the left. We're going into the month by month folder from all these subfolders. And again, your view may be a little different. Month by month, and those are up here in the corner. Month by month, and then November. And although you can see the template here, you got to click on it. I am thankful for. So when you click on it and it gets big, and Suzanne, I think this is where you may be. I'm going to click on it again. Click on it and it goes big. There it is. In order to work on it, you get to customize it, which means you get your own copy of the file. And then you start working. And we've added, as I did, now I've already opened up, I'm not going to customize again. I want you to go ahead and add stickers from the image folder. Now I did the search because it's quick, and we'll review stickers here in about, 4 minutes. But if not, dive into these folders. Most stickers appear in 3 folders, at least 3. So people are obviously, pictures of boys and girls and family people are going to be under people. But you may also find people under other folders, like under books, for instance. So definitely try your projects. Amy, Lisa, I totally expect you to be working on a cornucopia project right now.
Already recorded it.
You go. Yeah. She didn't want to brag and say she's done already in the chat box. because she's already used Wixie before, but she's got it going. Now, if I am setting some parameters, as I would definitely say maybe at least 5 stickers for the kids, or 4. Or if I know this group, and you know what? Because I don't see them every day face to face, we're a little slower, I will be thrilled with 3. You choose, right? But I would at least set a minimum. And then again, you got to watch your time. So, maybe after a couple, they all do their recordings and then they continue to add photos. But again, this way you have your assessment, you have your product, because the recording is your content. But if you let the kids play too much with the drawing tools or the images, you can't grade that, because you can't assume anything nowadays. You don't even get to see the look on their face. Is it quizzical or are they frustrated half the time? So, you got to have that artifact, that evidence. So, all right. Well, Lisa, earlier I had my dress shirt on, but I was wearing my PJ bottom, so I was all comfortable and having fun. So I don't know if you're comfy yet, but there's all sorts of things you can do Friday afternoon at home while you work that you couldn't do at school.
I'm so excited that teachers and parents are excited about these learning tools. This is awesome.
Excellent. Now I got 2 minutes left on this. Gloria, you guys are rocking, and we've scratched more than the surface, but I'm ready to kind of slow back down and show some more stuff, and then talk about how you see students work, how you assign templates. I'm going to show you all that. But right now, we're just kind of getting a feel. I went to the tech teacher at one district, actually from Virginia, because I also work with, and I live here in Baltimore County, by the way. I'm up in the Hereford zone. And the weather's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be from all the 2-hour delays from when I lived over in White Marsh area to now the Hereford zone, where, we just don't get them as often anymore. But I had a tech teacher, like an E-type, so a tech resource teacher in the building, created a video that basically said, Wixie's so easy, even grown-ups can use it. So that's the joke, that grown-ups need about 45 minutes to get comfortable. Your kids need about 2 minutes and they'll be ready to go. And again, they don't need to know the whole program. They just need to know, in this case, images and recording. So you'll be able to truncate how you approach teaching them the program. And I don't get me wrong, I also am going to talk about just free Explore for a little bit as well. But that's kind of how we're setting it up. And this is me just pausing for a little bit of time. There you go, Christina. She's done. Mary's already said done too. Excellent. And again, yeah, and I missed that comment, so thank you, Lisa. But this is the microphone right here. Or that was Amy who said it. Now, again, the rest of you, I'm having a growing, hopefully, not concerned, but I am hopeful that you are done or close to done. You just don't want to celebrate it on the chat box. And I can live with that too. Conscious discipline mentality here. Man, I would not be very good with that as a former fifth grade teacher, let me just tell you.
And just to reinforce what Scott was sharing about the microphone feature, I mean, what a great tool for collecting data. I know we're getting ready for report cards, end of October and into November, really looking to collect a lot of data. So what a great tool to have for our early learners to get some audio to build that portfolio of data.
Yeah, Amy, I see them counting numbers and then saving it, and then later on in the year possibly going back and seeing how, recording again and seeing how much further they've gotten. It's super exciting. You guys are right. All the chat box people that are saying this is cool. I agree.
Well, let's take it a little bit further too, and we're going to pull ourselves away from our beautiful cornucopias. Be sure to show any family member. You can open it up, and actually, you can share a link here under File. You can say Share. You can share this link to people via email, or even like use this form, and they won't open up your Wixie account. They'll just get to see it. So if you translate this, your kids for fun could draw a birthday cake, record themselves singing Happy Birthday Grandma, and mom or dad or their guardian could email this to grandma and she'd be able to watch it and listen to it, the birthday song. So that was File and Share, since you don't want to print it out. Right? So I need you to pull yourself away and come back to my screen. All right? And I'm going to go back and open up the nature sheet. So not only is the recording great for the things you described, but think about how you can now prove your anecdotal observations. I'm not saying this has ever happened to you, and I know I'm touching a little sarcasm again here, but I can only imagine that you tell a parent on the report card, for instance, the kid needs improvement, gets an N for counting to 10. And mom and dad are like, what are you talking about? They can't count, they need improvement? They can count to 100 at home. And as much as you want to say, well, maybe, he's drinking some magic water at your house that he doesn't have at school, if that was a typical situation, the great thing about this, you can turn around even now virtually and say, well, be that as it may be, and I don't doubt you, but the few times that I've had Timmy try to record himself counting to 10, he gets stuck. He can't go all the way to the top. And you can play a project with his voice. And you can really stick to the parents and say, that is your kid's voice, right? Again, don't do that. But when it comes to concerns about fluency, what's great too about speech, if you have a concern about their S's or R's or whatever it is, if your parent doesn't quite believe you, they never hear that at home, it's just great to have an artifact. So again, if I am doing a 1 through 10 activity, I may just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is a little bit of a visual cue compared to what you might do. And what I love about our text objects, and again, I just added the capital T tool up here, is you can resize the box and try to maximize the space. Also, if you didn't notice, when I brought in a text, there's the yellow icon, which means
1, 2, 3, 4, 56, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I forgot commas. So I understand where 56 came in. So obviously I need to make a change and add commas. But what's nice, if you go ahead, and this is for you almost creating stuff, but hello, I am a deer. You can have it read text.
Hello.
Oops, I clicked it. I'm sorry.
Hello. I am a deer.
And check it out. Again, now that I got no text options over here, but if you select the text object, you got options, change the font color, but I can make it a bubble. Boom. And again, if I don't quite like oval bubbles, again, what are my options? Those arrows mean options. Options for bubbles. Ooh, okay. Thinking. Pow. And I got to move the tail too. But I still want to go back to that original. There we go. I'm traditional. So you can add text objects. They make really easy newsletters because you can redo boxes into columns and they'll resize the font to fill the space. So the record tool also works great for artifacts. Another thing I think you need to consider when you're doing with any group, pre-K, first, second grade, kindergarten, is let them pretend to be something because they have to try to take something into consideration. Like, okay, like I know in some districts, first grade might do animal studies. Well, don't tell me about the animal. Anytime they list information, I'm just not a big fan. Because I don't think it's a valuable assessment. We know retention is close to 0. They just got this list. Have them apply it meaningfully, right? And if they're telling you about an animal, why not pretend to be that animal? Hi, my name's Steve. I'm a bear. Let me show you around where I live. And whatever your points are, tell about where you live, tell about what you eat, tell about how you interact with other animals or whatever that vocab word is for science or social studies. And those are the questions the kids need to answer. So that what you need to say will vary obviously based on your kids and your objective, your content objectives. This also could easily work. We're going to talk about more or less, but your kids can easily describe this being more than that. If they have numbers on the page or quantities or things like that. So let's talk, I'm going to go ahead and do a new page, about how to do and modify stickers so your kids won't mess them up. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab a pumpkin. So let's say, for instance, we are going to do a sort maybe on sounds. I could have done something with, like I said, AS, D, or M, whatever I want. And I have a template that I'm modifying to my own, and I bring in a new sticker. And we all know that if there is a way to mess up a template, there is a kid that definitely wants to mess it up. Like they will almost on purpose. So you look at Timmy, and next thing you know, Timmy's got he's missing 9 images because he deleted them all, and he's clicking the red X. So what can we do to stickers to protect it so Timmy won't destroy the template? And those are under properties. So I click, and again, you will never find properties when you go here. Where's properties? Where's properties? You got to select it to say, okay, this is what I want to do something to, this thing right here. So I'm going to go back over to edit, and I'm going to look for properties. And there it is right there. I have 4 choices. I have 5 actually, but 4 primary ones. Let's say this is a starting sound, and I want this to be like on top of like a Venn diagram, or I got 2 rectangles here for P and maybe a T. Do I want this sticker moved? Definitely not. Do I want them to be able to speak it? Yeah, maybe. Do I want them to be able to delete it? Definitely no. So what I can do actually is lock it. Now this is exactly like glue, but it's not permanent. I can unlock it. And check it out.
Pumpkin.
It'll say it. I could unlock it. The kids can't. It's fixed. All right, and let me unlock that. I got to select it. Edit. Oh, I got to unlock over here. Unlock. And now the other thing I could do is, let's say I want to do a quantity activity. And I'm going to do 5. Let me make a rectangle over here on the side, because then the kids can put 5 pumpkins in the rectangle. How do I then modify, oops, I got to select it, not draw on it. How do I choose to let them pull off, pumpkins? And that is the second choice. You guys see it there? It says clone. And again, Mary, yeah, I'm so sorry, Mary. When you select it, got to have the blue handles around it, it's under edit. And those are the 2 places to look. I want to do something to this sticker. It's going to be here, or I want to go to edit. Those are the only 2 places. So if you look at both, you'll find everything you can do to it. So under properties again, and this is where you can arrange it, by the way, and bring forward and bring front. I don't know if that happened in your cornucopia, but arrange is here as well for layering. I'm going to clone it and check out what it did. It basically got rid of it all, but I'm going to go ahead and click and drag them over. Now notice how I'm dragging them over with the handles. That's not good, because then they can, they can modify, resize them. So actually what I would do is I would also uncheck scales so they can't resize them. It's fixed. I would definitely do that with money, so the nickel's always bigger than the dime and penny. So now when you click them over, check it out. There's no resize handle, just delete. So I would put, even on top of each other, 5 pumpkins. Now the other choice, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just modify this one. I'm going to scale it and unlock it. So now or unclone it. So now it's back to normal. What if I want kids to move it around, but I don't want them to be able to delete or resize? So it's like, again, sorting. If this is something that kids are going to move around, I would always choose protect. And again, for me, I would lose scale handles. I don't want them to resize either. Now check out what protect did. I can still move it, so it's not like a lock. I can't delete it. So it will never disappear from this page. So for me, in short, if I'm doing sorting stuff with images on the bottom, every single one needs no scales, because that defaults, and protect it. And the ones that I want fixed, I'm going to lock into place. Or I could glue down too. But glue won't allow you to listen to it if the kids need to. So those are pretty big. There's this rotate only that just allows you to spin it where it is. But that's more like rotational symmetry for maybe upper grades, even in the middle school. But those are the big ones there. I'm going to move away from properties unless someone has a question. Nope. Or yes, you're typing. I'll answer it as it comes up. But I want to take a quick look at the image library to do what I would call like a quick review of things I know that are valuable for pre-K, right? And actually, my wife is vacuuming, so I got to close the door. And I just find it ironic that this section is being recorded and I just said that. So back to the stickers. Note that for younger kids, this alphabet folder you may use a lot. And the reason is these are really easy images to move around. They're not like text objects, which can be really clunky to move. These are just click and drag like stickers, exactly like that pumpkin. And also, first grade, second grade, we got these blends and word families. Again, easy to move, to make words, to finish words and things like that. And the blocks might be cutesy, for your younger kids too. I also like, going to open back up, the books folder. And the reason I like the books is it's really nice to be able to retell stories. And what's nice is if you retell a story, you could actually go to the Three Little Pigs story or the Hungry Caterpillar if you're reading that. And what's great is when you create a template, I'm going to jump really quick, and you go to project settings, you can actually choose a folder that'll show up in the stickers when they click on it. So if I had chose books and Three Little Pigs and press save, when the kids click on image, Three Little Pigs, oh, I got to log out. I'm going to go back to home, come back into it. Now I'm all over the place. Go to my pumpkin page. Now when I click on image, Three Little Pigs shows up. So that's a way to make it so that they don't even have to navigate within stickers. They can just go to a folder. But I love they still can navigate. But the book folders are great. And then across the top, the cartoons is the other one. I love bringing things to life. Like, don't tell me about a planet, talk to a planet, put some eyes and mouth on it. but also these numbers are kind of cute because they got eyes on them. The numbers are cutesy there. So that was under cartoons. And the rest are kind of, as far as the folders in here, these are all self-explanatory, from energy to map and life cycles. The math folder is great. It does have a lot of things in it, even like basic unifix cubes or tangram shapes. There are the numbers again, or even base 1 blocks if you want to start doing basic counting or quantities. You can even use cubes for quantities if you want to. So the math folder has a lot of manipulatives, as many as you want. The people folder, as I mentioned, there are a lot of historical people in here, but your family, babies to grandparents, our full body shots and family faces here are all under people. And then kind of round out for pre-K, although you may find stuff in other folders. Things like seasons is nice. Also toys, you got inside and outside toys. You got types, you got to scroll back down. Transportation, air, water, sea, and land. It's probably a little more kindergarten. And you got types of weather icons here too. So do a search if you can spell, but otherwise, if the kids are going to look for random stuff, they have to kind of have an idea, as far as, folders here, folders there, or they're asking you for help, and you can go from there. And I'll show you how to look at their work. All right. So that was your image safari. I need to also preference, in addition to this awesome audio recording, your kids can make a video as well. So, hey, here's me again. This is a 5-minute recording. So if they want to do a video, if you want them to explain something but do their picture instead, if you want them to have an object with them, I often talk about even like my family at the beginning of the year, they could have people pop in beside them. Hey, well, I got my dad shows up, and I got my mom, and here's, Scruffy the dog and my brother, whatever they want to show, they can. I also like with the pictures, and I talked about this with the images, if they need to go around the house and take pictures of circles or squares, they could do that with the camera, just get a snap instead of a video file of it, which can also be powerful. This is also something you can do. I've seen teachers do recordings. Like there was a teacher from Anne Arundel County who would actually do a recording of the answer and then hide the video behind like a rectangle sticker, because there were shapes and stickers, by the way, too. And then the kids would move the rectangle away and play the video and listen to the teacher explaining it. I said 5 minutes, Helen, just like the audio recording, it's 5 minutes. And you start it, you can also pause it just like before and continue on. So record more, pause, recording more, and then you can watch it. So up to 5 minutes. Now, if your kids are using their own devices, because I don't know if yours have, pre-K have Baltimore County devices, because I don't believe they do, know that old machines, 3 is actually old years now, 3 years or older, if Wixie freezes, even if they're using Chrome, not Internet Explorer, but if it freezes or gets slow with the video, the machine may not have enough capacity to add a large file like a video. Because a video is this audio recording here, plus hundreds, if not thousands of photos to show all of my movements, everything I do here. And as a result, the file gets really big. If it freezes, just tell them, listen, how about you don't do a video? I want to just hear you instead. And the audio file will still give you that knowledge, just not the visual that you might get here. So inserting a video can also be nice. Definitely explore it from there. So let's talk about assignments, for instance. You got my original, I'm going to delete these, pumpkin activity that I played with here. And let's say that this is that 5 activity I want to make. And I clone it. Do I add a text box and say drag 5 pumpkins over to the right-hand square or whatever I want? And the answer is I'm not a big fan of putting directions on the actual page, especially if they're drawing, maybe like beginning, middle, and end, or retelling stories like we might see. Instead, check out this acreage over here as far as emptiness. The recording is the #1 tool, I think, in the program. A top 2 or 3 is going to be this clipboard icon. So if you're taking notes, say, okay, I can add instructions via the clipboard icon. Here's your instructions. And check this out down here. This is a teacher recording. This is your 5-minute recording, which means you could type something like drag the pumpkin, drag 5 pumpkins over the rectangle, but you can add so much more. Like, be sure not to click the red X or do this or that. And for some of you, your parents, your children's parents are involved in helping. You can actually throw in a little bit for them as well that might provide some guidance. So this records the exact same way. 5-minute, 3-second countdown, 5 minutes, stop and pause as you go. And this will play, I'm going to keep it, this will play for the students. So I'm going to type in some directions, exact same thing. Drag 5 pumpkins into the rectangle on the right. And that's all I'm going to type, but I can add so much more via my recording. Now here's a huge part of this assignment. Let's say it's a complete blank page. and I want the kids to put something on the page. I'm going to have them draw maybe a fall because they draw a scene. And I am going to assign a blank page to them. But instead of putting the directions on the page, of course, I do the clipboard here. So I type in directions, or instructions it's called. If I do not slide this in, very important, if I do not say open to instructions, when the kids open the page, this is all they'll see. They'll be like, what am I supposed to do? I don't get it. I quit. If you say open to instructions, this shows up. And if you don't record yourself saying it, there will be a talk button that'll read the instructions to them. So if it's like one of ours. Suzanne, the video appears on the page just like a sticker or a photo. So you can resize it and make it small or really big. It's up to you. So this is a sweet feature as you start to create structure for the kids. Even a blank page, is something you can do. And here's the reason why. And I want to talk about assignments and then kind of connect it all together in this capacity before we go over to the teacher side. You can assign a template while looking at the project. There's 3 different places to assign to students. But if I go to File and look for the tool to assign to my students, yeah, there it is. It says Assign. I know, pretty straightforward. So I click Assign, and here's my class list. Now, if you have an AM and PM class, you may have to choose between the 2 with the pull-down menu here on the right. Now, the question is, do you want all of your kids to do it? Or, hey, I'm a speech teacher. I actually just need these 2 kids to get it. You choose. I'm going to go back to all. Do you want the kids to get this right now today, or are you planning for next week and want this on Monday? Now, although it defaults to 30 days, once the kids open it, they no longer need the template. They got their own copy of it. So if I see them every day, I'm just going to make it for, that's November still. I'm going to make it for just a week. So we're going to say the 19th through the 23rd. But I want to be able to show you this now, so I'm going to go back to the 16th. And if this is my AM class, I'm going to now move to my PM class. I know it's not AM, and select it there. And the moment I press save, boom, it's there. The kids can now see their template. Now, what does that look like? Let me log out, that door icon in the upper corner. Going to log into a student file. Now, again, your kids will go through BCPS 1, but when they get here, check it out. First thing they see right there, new assignment. And you'll see I love doing nature scenes. It's kind of my badge. It's my thing. So the kids see the assignment, even if it's a blank page, and that's why you got to be sure to name it instead of calling it untitled. They click on it, and now they can work on it. So once your kids get to Wixie, 10 seconds later, they could actually be working on it. So that's why I think with your 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds, you're going to want to be sure that you've given them a template just to get rid of navigating through folders and everything else. And as I often do, and I'm just going to change something really simple so you see what I got here. It's kind of a pink grass. So the kids do their work, can work on as much as they want. And when you got it. One more time with template. When I go back to home, check it out. The assignment's gone because now they have their own copy of it. It's their work right there. Now, Sherry, I don't know if it's going to go straight into Schoology because each kid gets their own URL. Like when I open up a project, this is a different URL. So what I often will do is use a snippet. Like I'll grab a snippet program, like just a tool. Like I'm going to type in snipping tool. You could take a picture of this page, the assignment, and basically tell the kids to open Wixie and look for this picture, this assignment. So at very least, you can put a picture in. All right, okay, everyone slow down with the questions really quick. I'll get to showing work and how you leave comments and everything else. Someone asked about templates. Too much. Let me see if I'll cover it. I got to go back to home, though, to me. So again, the kids will see the work first thing. That's the thing I want to press upon you is if you give them an assignment, the first thing they see is the template, the assignment. So that's the way to facilitate efficient use of this product instead of confusion early on, particularly. So again, I went into templates here. So the cornucopia one was under templates and month by month. I mean, check out some of these assignments. You go into language arts, for instance. And this is Common Core stuff. So I go to reading and I got subcategories. I'm going in alphabetic principle. Okay, starting sound, ABC books. Okay, blends, consonant, vowel, consonant. Finish the alphabet. That's cool. What's that? So when you click on one you're interested in looking at, open it up, click on it, you get a big view of it. I got to drag these up to make the alphabet. Now, do I like this exactly as it is? I can assign it, and it's just like before. You get the same window, dates, everything. Or do I want to make a little change to it? And if you click Customize here, just like you did with the cornucopia, that wasn't supposed to happen. You now get your own copy. Maybe I'll have to find a different one. Oh, there it is. It's still there. So now I have my own copy of the file under my projects. I'm going to open it up and I can make changes to it. And then I would assign my version of it, not the original one from the templates folder. I can do it here. Also know that when you're looking at your projects, these are called ellipses, these 3 dots. When you click on the ellipsis for this project, one of the choices will be assigned. In fact, it's the very first one. This also, I can delete it and duplicate it too. So I can assign it. So back to templates. And if it's not exactly what I'm looking for, I can think about just customizing a little bit. So reading, alphabetic principle, more alphabet stuff, starting sounds, missing letters. There's a lot. Okay, wait, let's go up and look at that initial sounds. A, B, C, D, F. So these aren't necessarily customized to the letters you're working on right now, but let's say I want to just do 2 letters. I want to do A and S. So I can look, is there a 2 one? Yeah, there's a 2 one right there. I can open up this 2-box grid, say, all right, I don't want any of this because I don't want syllables. I'm going to customize it. And this is how it should work. It should just open up. I'm going to start deleting these. So I got to unprotect it. Delete. I'm going to delete all the stickers, and I'm going to get rid of 1 and 2. Edit. Unlock. Delete. Edit. Unlock. Delete. And I'm going to put in like A here. Maybe I'll put it right here. And S here. And I'm going to put in stickers that start with A and S. But I got my 2 grids, so I can use this what's here as a starting point instead of starting from scratch. And even if you wanted to find 4 for all AS, D and M, you can easily, like under graphic organizers, under templates, graphic organizers, you can look for, there's a KWL chart. I can do all 4 there. Maybe just, open it up, customize it. And I'm going to get rid of the questions on the top. And maybe I put in like I'll go for a pink rectangle along the bottom. And this is where I'm going to put all the stickers in. And with the letters on top. So select, unlock, delete, and ASDM, and then put in 8 stickers or 9 or 10 or whatever you want, whatever can fit. So definitely look for how you can modify to better fit. Now what's also nice is that in addition to our templates, and I'm going to talk about looking at student work in a second too, there is a Baltimore County folder here. In fact, we were doing stuff with the math office. So this is a Baltimore County account, and check it out. Yours will say templates in Baltimore County. When you click on it, you get all of these things that are in the Baltimore County folder. I don't know about all this stuff down here, but if only there was a PreK folder, I could see if there's templates.
Scott, we created a PreK folder, but we haven't moved all of the ELA files and math files we created yet. But if you go into the elementary language arts folder, there's some PreK files in there.
Okay. And again, I actually know that you're working on it still. But the bottom line is look for stuff to be added here from Lisa and her colleagues. They may have something with A, D, M, and S here soon. So when I go into PreK, I know there's a couple math templates waiting for me. This isn't bad because this is your curriculum office saying, hey, these will work for your instruction. And as she pointed out, there was elementary English language arts, PreK, and there are some things here for each unit as well. So that's great from the county ones. These are almost always ready to go as is, or you make small changes. But someone's basically saying, we would like to do this for, we would like your kids to do this. What's also nice, if you got a template that's rocking, that worked really well with your kids, think about sharing it with Amy or Danielle or someone from your curriculum office, just to kind of, basically, hey, to brag. I got this awesome template, because they can put stuff in the district folder. You can't. You can only put stuff in your school folder. So just know that that's how it looks for you, and you can easily share those, if you're hoping to, like if you have a personal goal this year with your principal for technology, having a template or 2 placed in the district folder can easily be an indicator under that personal goal. Now know that you also have your elementary school. If I am working with a PreK colleague in my building, and we're friendly to each other because we work nice together, I may say, hey, listen, we got this new theme coming up, ADSM. I'll make an AS one if you make a DM starting sound template, and then we can share it. Now, in order to share it, you can share it through the school folder. And basically in my school folder, Mason Elementary School, you see all these subfolders? I don't even have a PreK folder. So what I encourage you to do, and this is how you can organize your own work too. When you select the folder, My Projects or School, you'll notice that there under the New, you can make a folder. So I would actually say New, Folder, and I would say PreK. Awesome PreK. Whatever. Oh, I got to click on the box. whatever I want to call our team. So I press save, and now in the school folder is a PreK folder right there. So check it out. If I end up making this template and I want to share it with my partner or move it into my own folders, when you click the ellipsis, you could move it to. And that would say move to my folders, and I would click and say move it to here. Or if you go back, you can go into your elementary school, put it in PreK, and say copy. See how it doesn't move it? Just a copy of your file just went in the school folder. So now my thrilled colleague goes into PreK and she can find my template, or he can. And I'll get to that in a second then, Mary. Just know, and I did move fast on a couple things there as I watched the time as well, every single step-by-step direction for Wixie is in Wixie. Now, I have a smiley face icon up here, but you have a profile picture, like a little shadowy figure. When you click on the shadowy figure, there's a help menu. Okay, I need help. Ooh, step-by-step directions. There's over 120 step-by-step directions. So how about inserting photos? Ooh, plow black and white, can round the corners, do things like that. How about painting? Erase it, paint a shape, paint a square, paint with pictures, pages. Add a page, delete a page, record a sound. And how about teachers organizing? Oh, okay, project folder, editing activities, or how about just activities for teachers? And know that when you open up one of these, it'll always have snapshots with it. So this is how you add a default image category. So you can say, I want animals to open up, so the kids don't even have to look through stickers. Animals just shows up, just like I did with the 3 little pigs. So help is a great place to start. And if you're kind of trying to get still familiar with Wixie, there's tutorials here, over here on the left side. These will are lengthier step-by-step directions to help you make a product, as if you were a second grader or something like that. Public service announcement for weather safety. So this isn't a bad spot to try to teach yourself if you need some more orientation. Mm-hmm. So I've held off, but let's talk about first how to leave comments, and then I'll go back and show you where students will see the assignments. So if you want to see kids work, this is kind of new too. You can actually, you go to assignments just to see if they finished it or not. So like these are the assignments I've given. And when I go to fall scene, I can see that basically Jamie started it. She's the only one that opened the file. So you can at least see if they open it. Now I can't click and see Jamie's work from here. The only place to see work is to go to the Students tab. Okay, so I click on Students. I got my AM and PM classes here. So I can go ahead and look at the students' work. So I'm just scrolling through here. Oh, show me this prettiest thing. So this was a literature connection off a book called Things That Are Most in the World. It was done by second graders. It's on superlatives, the ist. Stickiest, highest, biggest, whatever. So the kids drew their own page, like another page of a book. And I think they recorded. Let's hear. Oh, yep.
The prettiest thing in the world is a marshmallow dressed in a pink fur coat with hot pink pumps and pearl earrings.
As a father with 2 daughters, I still don't get where a marshmallow comes in. But anyways, this is her project, and I could hear it. Note that I cannot make changes to it. I'm just looking at it. And I can make it bigger if I want to as well. But check out this feedback. This is pretty big. You can actually press plus and leave a text feedback. Someone earlier asked if we could add a recording instead, and I've already forwarded that to our programmer. So hopefully the developers will work on it and maybe add the ability for you to leave like your own voice recording as a comment. But right now you can leave a lengthy recording or comment, small or as big as you want. And here's the big thing you got to do though. This complete. So again, if you're taking notes, when grading students' work, always mark as complete. Let's say you're talking artifacts again, and you have a sample that you can't wait to share with mom and dad in like 3 weeks at a parent conference. Again, your kids will be using Wixie for fun. They can open up projects and do all the sort of gibberish they want to. What you don't want to have happen is they open up your assignment and scribble all over it. They basically destroy it. Because then there you are at your parent conference. You say, well, there's a sample that I want to share you from your son or daughter. And I think it's going to illustrate some of the concerns I've been having with their speech. You open it up and it's destroyed. And you're like, oh no, this is bad. If you mark it as complete, the project goes static and the kid can no longer modify it. Nothing. They can open and look at it, but they can't change a thing. Now you can let them change. You can change your mind later to let them modify. But that's what you got to do. You mark as complete and then you leave a feedback for it. You can print kids' work here too and stuff like that. But right now, leave a comment. And what's nice is when mom and dad or the child opens it over here on the right-hand side where the paint tools are, that'll be your comment. So this is huge. Now, if your project's name, so instead of looking through like all their stuff every time, you can actually sort by like project name. So I can do fall scene and find every single fall scene from one from each kid. So as I click on their kid's name, only their fall scene will show up. So just know that as well. And these checkboxes represent marked as complete. So actually, when I go back to assignments and I click on, oh no, I didn't go into Jamie's. I go into students, go into Jamie, open up the assignment, wonderful work, I type in it, but I mark it as complete. When I go back to just my overview, like checking out the papers in my hand or matching the kids, I open this fall scene. Now when I go to Jamie, she's got not only is it gray because she opened it, but it's checked because it's also completed. So gray says they opened up the template, check means they completed it. But here's another really neat feature here. It's right up top, view student work. So here I am, I just asked the kids to do the cornucopia template. If I were you, I get them started, I would go straight to here, view students' work. And again, that was under assignments. Click on the assignment and view student work. What you can do is you would click on the different kids and you would get to see what they are doing right now. You can't make changes to it, so you can't go in and edit things for them, but you can basically, as you're doing talk, Danielle, your work looks great, I need you to do this, or I think you might want to get rid of that. You can basically make comments as they're going, and every 15 or 20 seconds, you'll get a new copy of where they stand. Every time it saves for them, it gives you a new updated version of that project. Paris Kin, Kimmy, but your best bet is to actually email me and I can customize your account. You just got to, Scott, I'm going to put my email back up. I need access to these 2 classes. I can make that happen. And I can modify your account. Typically, because you're a teacher and on record, it won't let you, but I have some side door access to Wixie and the data that I can take care of. So I'm going to put that up. And again, I think if you assign to the student, it will show up. And again, don't forget when you do an assignment, let me pick a different one here. My projects, assignment. Obviously, I go into the same Jamie class, all of them. When they open up their accounts, so they're going into class, or they're going into BCPS 1, when they open up, boom, first thing, assignment, right there. They don't even need to go to assignments. They just click on it right here. So now back to a couple other things with this one here. And I jumped around. I got to self-assess to see where I'm standing on my checklist here. Good. I also want to show under templates the math folder. You're also doing greater than or less than. You're comparing values. So math, number operations, computation fractions, numbers. Okay. Skip counting. That might be animals in the park. I think they got to put so many animals in the park. Let's see what it says. So again, take a look at it. You don't have to keep it when you open it big. Drag 1 alligator, 2 elephants, 3 gorillas. Okay, counting. So these must be cloned would be my guess. I like it, or I want to customize it, or I don't like it. Back to home. Look at another one. Domino, touch counting, skip counting, coloring. Each color for dot, I bet. Barn, there's another count with the barnyard. There's those numbers again. What did I see? Here's quantities of 5 and quantities of 4. All sorts of stuff. And again, if you don't like it as is, customize it. So math is pretty good. So you're and again, you got 5 and 10 frame templates here too. Math is good. Language arts. The other one is month by month. I do like the seasonal stuff. There is another counting activity here under this section. This one here. There's another extend a pattern. There's carve a jack-o'-lantern if that's something you might do. All will work. The holidays, you use or you don't use. And then the other one you may use a lot is general. And general provides, things that can be used for any curriculum area. So the kids could make, design a snow globe. Might be a fun January activity. Might be neat door hanger and actually print it at home if they want to and hang it on their door or mom and dad's door or wherever. Bookmarks. There's journals. These are nice because this is a cover page with inside. So even yourself, you may end up making journals. Superhero ID cards. All sorts of great things here. And then I would also, this is probably important too, social emotional. We're doing more and more social emotional templates because right now in particular you're trying to connect to your kids, and this is some nice stuff here. So look at these as well. You can search for different subject areas, but sometimes being specific is hard. So go like geometry and you're going to see all the geometry templates. But dig into the categories and explore. See, again, I may not do this for my goals. I may want to change that, but I like that clipboard icon. The clipboard may be under general, but it may not be too. So even if you're just looking for something. Calendar or schedule templates. Let's see. Calendar. About me, math. Let's see what was under general. Oh, you know what? Let me look at teacher. Teacher. There is a calendar, 1920. So that means you could just find 1 month specifically, because it's obviously like a 10-page grid. Nope. Seating charts, certificates, or even usernames and passwords. These choice boards are nice. Even these idea boards that gives you like 20 different ideas for social emotional. Each one, if you actually open it up and customize it, is hyperlinked. Oh no, you can view it right now. So if you click on any of these idea boards, this is different ways of doing social emotional from youngest kids to oldest kids. So these idea boards now are templates, but they're more like a resource for teacher. We're just putting them in Wixie, which makes it a little easier to access. All right. Talked about that, and that. Oh, here's one other thing I need to preference. And now I apologize, I'm jumping around a little bit. But I've gone back to the student tab. And although I can see work, down here there's something really important. See where it says student usage. This will show you how often your kids that are logging on and possibly how many times they're logging on. So if I go, and again, these are all my practice classes, but I can see the Jamie account has been logged on 7 times in 10 different projects for about 15 minutes of work. And the duration doesn't matter because the kid could leave it on and walk away. But here's the big thing you need to do with this. Right now, with the way we're instructing it, just a kind of a potential offshoot of it, it's really easy for kids to be passive and not to say, wait a minute, I can't get to it, or I'm having problems. My wife teaches 5th grade up at 7th District, and she admitted, or she found out a couple weeks ago, she admitted, I had 2 kids that never logged on to Wixie, and we had used it 2 times already. Because the kids couldn't get there. It was part of a brainstorming activity, and they didn't speak up. So what you can do here is look at your kids and see who's got zeros, the day after, and then you reach out to Nina and say, Nina, I see you get into Wixie. Are you okay? Did you have problems? I couldn't find it. Nina, why didn't you ask for help? So that's how, wow, that's a late entry. That's why it's really nice to see the data. And again, that was down here in the bottom left-hand corner, student usage. All right, so one other thing I want to show you before I put my contact information up. You are going to get questions from your parents, or you want to let parents know, we are going to start using Wixie because it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. So now you can choose to modify that any way you want, but I accept something along similar to that statement. So I've gone to Wixie.com, just Wixie, Wixie.com. And I'm thinking, okay, where is there any available parent resources? And the answer is, you betcha there is. So check out this parents link right here. So Wixie.com, I click on parents. Okay, here's a learn about Wixie overview video. Here's seeing if your browser is compatible with Wixie. So kids who are having problems, you can check or confirm. Or privacy policy, getting help, resources, getting started at home, parent guides, even sample work. All you have to do is give parents this link and you're done. I just want you all to know, telling your parents, with your weekly newsletter or even an email statement, that your students are going to start using Wixie. It's a dynamic web-based productivity tool. If you have any questions or would like to further explore this tool, I recommend that you view the resources at this link. And you washed your hands of it. You're done. I mean, everything they need is here. And if they ask a question, you can always even if you don't know the answer, you do, but assuming you might not, say, well, was that information available on the link I sent? And that's all you got to do. And maybe you can look with them, or maybe you can find out. If not, I'm going to put my information back up so you have it. Oh, it's in Spanish. I'm not sure. I don't believe so. When I put my email up, if you ask for some of this to be in Spanish, I think it's time we start doing it in Spanish as well, or having it available. So it's something I can pass on to my colleagues. And it's, I come up with a lot of crazy ideas, as you can tell by my energy. And sometimes my colleagues are like, oh, that's great, Scott. But when it comes from someone like Baltimore County, I can forward and say, there's a teacher from Baltimore County that requested our learning about Wixie video also be in Spanish, and we can make that happen. All right, so that kind of adds to it a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Oh, you're most welcome. To me, I'm going to pull up my contact information again. This, as it comes up, is my email. I'm locally, like I said, and I'm a good follow on Twitter. If you use Twitter at all, I will retweet what teachers in Maryland and Virginia say they're doing. That's my region. Say they're doing with Wixie right now. So And the PreK is also using it in Loudoun County. They're also using it in Anne Arundel County, as well as Fairfax County. The PreK teachers have started this year. So what would be sweet is if you see, and of course the other grades, I see a PreK one and I tweet it or retweet it. I just tag it. And now you're getting, for a 5-second look, you can say, oh, Scott tagged one for 5th grade. That doesn't work for me. Oh, that was for phys ed. That doesn't work for me. But, oh, there's a PreK one. Now you have an idea about what someone's doing right now with Wixie for PreK. That could be something you could also do then. So it's a great idea option. So here's my contact information. And we have a ton of just fantastic resources here at this website. Do a search for using Wixie throughout the curriculum. I'm so sorry I ran a little bit over. We didn't quite get started on time. That was my fault too. But I'm so glad we were able to make those cornucopias. I'm going to stop the recording and I will happily answer questions you may have. Let me do that. Oh, no, it's down here.